And of course, President Bola Tinubu has been asked by the Labour Party to seek help in addressing the high cost of living in Nigeria before the situation becomes unbecoming. The Labour Party, in a statement from the National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, says it is deeply concerned about the increasing cost of living in Nigeria and tons of citizens are faced with food shortages. The Labour Party says President Tinubu needs to take action and take it as quickly as possible. Protests broke out in Niger and Kano states earlier this week as residents blocked roads in protest of food inflation and economic hardship. Well, for more on this, I'm now being joined in the studio by Obi Aguocha, who's an honorable member representing Ikwuano-Umuahia Federal Constituency of Abia State in the House of Representatives. Thank you so much, honorable member, for joining us.
Thank you, Sambo. I'm happy to be here again.
Thank you so much. Now, your party is not taking it easy on the government in power. It's actually saying...
My party is supporting the people.
Yeah, I mean,
so my party is supporting the people.
He's saying that President Tinubu has to wake up. I mean,
I thought he was already up.
Well, to ensure that I mean the rising cost of food is actually tamed.
Absolutely. Well, to borrow a cliche, not in way Musana will see forget. You know, I had the publicity secretary of the All Progressive Congress trying to do a good job in projecting the government and the APC in their leadership over the last 8 months or 9 months. Now, they didn't choose to be elected. They offered themselves to be elected. So when they're elected, they ought not to have excuses. They should be able to have jumped into the fray and started doing things for the benefit of Nigeria. P2B nor Labour Party are not in government. It is their government. So if they break it, they own it. Now, what is happening all over the country is very sad. Sometime last year, I was here on this same program, and I talked about the insufficiency of food, that a lot of Nigerians are going hungry. A lot of people thought I was insane, but it's starting to bear out today. And if we begin to have hunger strikes, hunger crisis in this country, well, there goes insecurity. There goes every other opportunities in the country. Yeah, but you
yourself, you're also in government. I mean,
I'm in government.
Elected member of the House of Representatives.
And I have an oath.
And it's one national assembly.
And I have an oath to uphold the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Yeah, and so what have you been doing to contribute to governance and reducing this challenge?
And we did that today.
I know that today you met with the
We did that today, but I'm coming to that today. We did that today. But also have an oath to speak for and on behalf of my people, to draw the government's attention to the plights of my people, for that matter, not just my people, but Nigerians.
Yeah, I mean, you're a member
so I'm a member of the National Assembly. It's Nigeria's house. Nigerians are hungry, Sambo. Nigerians are unable to eat. There are no provisions by the government to see that we have food sufficiency. Nothing.
Well, there was
so
a meeting
everybody's left
today, to be fair to the government, where they met.
They're giving palliatives, but palliatives don't sell. Palliative is self.
If the pictures will roll on right now, you will see where, though President Tinubu is not in town, but
well, he should be in town. A president should be in town. His country is burning down.
Well, he told us
it requires a president to be home to direct. And yeah, they can say, well, he can be anywhere in the world and still direct. But then the point is this. When are we going to go away from this attitude of palliative? Every single thing, let's give palliative. How many of that palliative will get to the rest of the country? It doesn't. It's never enough. So rather than show people or provide adequate opportunities for food sufficiency, we're just busy giving palliative. It doesn't hold waters. Palliative would not feed the people of Niger State, neither would it feed the people of Kano, nor is it going to feed people in River State all over the country as it looks like now, that a lot of people are agitating. And for the first time, we're agitating not because of tribe or religion or ethnicity or I'm IPOB, I'm this or that. People are agitating simply because they're hungry.
Yeah,
and the government is not able to provide food. When the government is not able to provide food, then anarchy steps in.
But I want to
more
ask,
insecurity sets in.
Yeah, definitely, Honorable. I want to ask, what exactly did the CBN governor tell you today, including the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning and all of that, that could make you think that this government is actually hands-on on these issues?
Well, we had an interesting discussions, let me use it that way, with the Minister of Finance and the coordinating Minister of Economy. We had the CBN governor, we had the Minister of Budget and Planning, and the DG, I don't know whether that's the title, but the DGFRS, where they now came to tell us, the chairman of the FRS, where they now came to tell us the state of the economy beyond the budget that we just recently did. And personally, I've been following up what has been happening, especially from the budget perspective, trying to know the implementation, the government's plan for implementation, because most of the times we barely implement 50% of our budget. And then that creates a lot of abandoned projects all over the country. So from the discussions we had, I can say, I'm not going to be partisan, I can say, especially from the perspective of the CBN governor, at least he had a plan. He understood the challenges that Nigerians are going through, and challenges that cannot be overcome simply by way of palliative. I keep saying palliative. Now, they are now talking more like Peter Obi is talking, encouraging Nigerians now to look towards local alternatives than things that we buy and import from.
Production.
Well,
consumption.
Peter Obi always talked about moving from consumption to production. So hence, I think that's why Labour Party is saying, if they need help, let them ask some people also who have experience in, economic development, financial development.
Someone like Peter Obi?
Like someone like Peter Obi wouldn't help.
Well, I want to ask, what sort of help do you think that the Labour Party can offer to the government as alternatives in terms of policy formulation and policy implementation, so that in a very short time, lots of Nigerians will
one thing I agree with the publicity secretary that just left. Again, I'm being from the perspective of a Nigerian, not just Labour Party,
being bipartisan,
but not being a partisan. The problems that we are in now will take about a year or more to solve. It's not just, you can't just wave a magic wand. But the difference between what has been happening with this current administration is like they are blindfolded and throwing darts on the wall. So whichever that sticks, we'll take it. There has to be a concerted effort of people like we have today, the managers of the economy, to sit down and put out a workable plan that will take us from here to there. But that starts from addressing the issue of hunger, food supply, the chronic insecurity in the country, and then the stabilization of the naira.
Yeah, and one of the major criticism by, those of you in the opposition against President Tinubu is that he just came in and he didn't really know where the cups were on the shelf.
That's what I told you.
Where
they were blinded.
And everything.
They blindfolded themselves.
Just mentioned policies without
they
actually
themselves, mentioning policies.
Could he also have been that he personally studied it, but not within group or having a transition committee? Because that's the difference between Tinubu and President Buhari. When Buhari came in, he had actually had a transition committee.
When did that transition committee lead? When did Buhari's transition lead us? Buhari is the cause. But Buhari is still the cause. Buhari is still the cause of what has happened.
Yeah, but
it's still the cause of what has happened to today. Tinubu owned up Buhari's policies and programs. He cannot now come and disavow President Buhari.
Well, he said he inherited a weak economy.
From whom? From APC government to another APC government. It's not like that Buhari was Labour Party or Buhari was PDP. Buhari was APC. So if APC is inheriting a weak economy, that means that Buhari himself was inefficient. Didn't have proper understanding of the job that we gave to him as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And now Tinubu comes in and they're making excuses of inheriting a weak economy. Now, it's not about inheriting a weak economy. What are they going to do to turn around this weak economy that people are suffering? The renewed hope, or whatever they called it, The thing don't get K-leg.
Well,
so we must have to come back now, seriously. President Tinubu has to be nationalistic in his approach. He cannot come and say, because, well, this person is this person. I hear them abusing Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is not their problem. Peter Obi is not their problem. All these people are doing are pointing out some of the rots that still exist in government.
All right.
Atiku is talking about Atiku is talking about 3.3 billion that has, that didn't get any National Assembly approval, and NNPC is guaranteeing a private company,
an SPV.
An SPV. How can in which world, in which developed democracy, can you have that done? Today I asked a question which was unanswered. I said, what happened to the 7.8 trillion naira expenditures from ways and means money? That money has not been accounted for.
Hasn't it been securitized?
It hasn't been securitized. I asked that question. I asked that question to the Minister of Budget and Planning. And he said, well, he can't answer it. He would defy it to the Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance ignored it.
Well, you and I know that's a very tough question. Well, as we try to round off this conversation, Honorable Aguocha, talk to us about the role of the National Assembly. Why don't you also look for ways to help the executive if the executive is helpless?
We are. Thank God we have a fantastic speaker, Tajuddin Abbas. We have a fantastic deputy speaker. If you were in the chamber today, you will be so proud of Benjamin Kalu, the deputy speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. Thank God we have these two men and others within the National Assembly. Today I saw APC members speaking truth to power about the current economic situation in the country. I saw PDP, Labour, otherwise minded, all speaking truth to power. Now, what we can do is to enable, help the government with the enable legislative framework that they need.
All right.
If they come to us and say they need adequate tools and every other thing that they will need to provide, make sure that the economy is in better health, then we will do that. But as the parliament, we are doing our level best. All we want is that we're representing our people, and our people are telling us that they're hungry. With the current naira to dollar, 92% of the population is already priced out of the market. Even if we put $2 trillion into the Nigerian economy, within the next 2 months, it would disappear.
Well,
because of corruption. So everybody has a role to play.
The economy was the strongest part of Tinubu's strength. I mean, having been in Lagos.
Well, he should reevaluate his strength. He should reevaluate his strength.
Before I let you go, do you think Tinubu is being, bogged down by maybe some cabals or some cartels within the country, like we often hear from people in power? And if that's the case, how can he break free to ensure that the economy grows quickly?
The only person that can break himself from any perceived cabal or otherwise said
cartels
and all the stuff is still Tinubu himself. Yeah, set aside partisan rhetorics and all the stuff. He is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has the opportunity now to change the dynamics of Nigeria, to give hope, as you've always said, not this fake hope where people are suffering and dying.
You think it's fake hope?
It is fake hope now.
Renew hope. So
renewed hope to what? To poverty, to suffering. So he needs to come back and reevaluate his priorities moving forward. And a lot of us, from other parties otherwise minded, are willing to support, are willing to help him.
Right.
Because Nigeria is our own place. We have no other place to go.
All right. I'm afraid Honorable Obi Aguocha, not Peter Obi, but Obi Aguocha.
Obi, I used to say Obi.
He's a member of the House of Representatives representing Ikwuano-Umuahia Federal Constituency in Abia State. We must thank you so much for helping us to share your ideas with Nigerians. And of course, I do hope that question you asked today will eventually be answered.
I'm telling you, I was pleasantly shocked. It was glossed over and everybody just went away.
The government still owes you an answer.
Yeah.